Good morning on this August 6th. Hope our creator is keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button and share this across other platforms so we can let people know about our Schumann resonance, solar activity, and what's going on in the world. If you happen to be new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell in case we have any critical future updates. Here we can look at our Russian Schumann resonance. This here is in Tomsk, Russia, and you can see we are getting some clear spikes. Look, we got up to a power of 85, which is quite immense. If you happen to notice any headaches, ear ringing, body aches, sometimes you're just tired, take a look at the Schumann. Okay, this one here is at disclosurenews.it, and you can take a look at the Russian model yourself. Now we also have our Italian model, which also tells on CERN, and you can see we've got some activity going on here as well. So we definitely have an event going on. Now if we actually scroll down here to the bottom, or towards the bottom a little bit, this is current, but it always lags a little bit. This is more of your accurate data, so you can tell that it only goes to here. But as you can tell, we are definitely going up into an event mode. So not just Tomsk, Russia, but also over here in Italy. This one's a little bit different, so you're going to want to screenshot that bugger to take a look at it. Or you can just put in your search engine Italian Schumann resonance, and you should be able to come up with it. Now we can clearly see the colors here so these are different frequencies that the Earth is giving off, and it does correlate right up here with our different hertz, and it also happens to correlate with our chakras. So you can always find a color chart for the chakras, and you'll know exactly what's being affected. Lots of reds, we got some blues mixed in here, and some greens and yellows. So there's a lot of cleansing, purification, frequency resonance with our chakras, with our Earth, with us. And as you can see here, we've clearly got some forms of patterns going on here. I'm not sure exactly what that means. But we come on down here to Italy, and Schumann, Italy is actually right here, which is not too far from CERN, which is why it tells on it. Now, we're going to come over here and check out SolarHam. And as you can see here, things are relatively quiet. We're not in any kind of concerns for in event mode. You can see the density slowly climbing up, but it is very, very slowly. You got to keep in mind, folks, this here is 5 centimeters cubed, 10 centimeters cubed, and 15 is way up here. So this is not a large jump. This is a very small jump. They just compress the numbers, or stretch them out rather, to 5, 10, and 15. So look at our speed. Our speed is slowing down. We're already down here below 350 kilometers per second traveling through our solar system, and our temperature is way down here between 10 to the 4th power and 10 to the 5th. So we're doing all right. I am happy to report, though, that SDO is back up and running. We did have Solar Dynamic Observatory was down. They had a pinched or a severed fiber optic cable, at least one. And one, if you know anything about fiber optic cables and how data transfers, it can screw the whole thing up, and it can take a little while, especially when you fuse cables together. If you don't fuse it properly, sometimes you get glitches in the data, and that's actually what we're going to look at. So they might wind up having to rerun the whole line. They probably spliced it together, then they're going to rerun the one line and interact it, so they might be down for just a moment while they do it again. But we're going to look over here at SDO at 304 angstroms of light. As of yesterday, see these little glitches here? Yeah, that's gaps in the data because it's traveling down a fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cables are completely hollow. Okay, so we're going to have little screw ups. Now, as we can see here, we clearly have an eruption right over here off this eastern limb, but it is going south of us, south and west of us. So we're not going to have to worry about that because we're more up here. If this is the equatorial plane, this is the equatorial plane of the sun, or equator, and we're more up here, and we kind of oscillate back and forth, like, in a figure 8 pattern, so to speak. So we're more up here. Okay, so this is not going to impact us. We are out of the danger zone for that. We'll shrink that back down, and as we continue to go on, you see the little gaps in the data from the fiber optic cable. We can see another little fire going off over here, another little eruption. Again, nothing coming towards us, so let's just hope that it stays that way. I'm not so sure or confident that it's going to, though. Woo. We can clearly see we've got some activity going on down here. Again, firing south, or letting loose to go south. Nothing for us to worry about. Looks like the sun actually recaptured most of that. Oh, back that up. Look at this. We got a little friend here. Zoom. And this is like one of those little balls. If you guys saw me over on Rise Above, there's 3 little balls on this triangle here. that's there, this little craft, and you can see him coming right out of the, almost like he came out of this plasma, like he was gathering plasma or something for his craft, and then took off. But that's just my thoughts, since we see them quite regularly. And I think we have one more little eruption. Yep, right here. It was right here. But again, nothing coming towards us. So we should be good. Hopefully they'll have SDO completely up and running a little bit later. Now we're going to come over here to Stereo or Lasco C2 from Soho, and we can see we got some missing data, folks, from 2 a.m. to 11:30 yesterday. This is yesterday's date. That's a lot of data. That's 9 hours. That's about 8.5 hours. What are they doing here? You know what I mean? Like what's going on here? Let's back this up just a little bit. Oh, looks like we might have some form of a craft right up here. Whoa, what was that? Looks like something went across here. Look at that. Whoop. Pretty interesting. Wonder what that could have been. Yeah, some people are saying it's protons, that it's, it was an electric blip from the sun. Could be. Now again, there's our southern eruption. There's an eruption from this morning that went off. Whoa, wait a minute here. From 4:24 to 8:36, there's 4 more hours of missing data. NASA keeps taking data out of these satellites, folks. Now, this is something I want us to keep our eye on, is this guy right here. Check this out. As we're getting an eruption here, something appears out of nowhere. Check this out. Uh-oh. Look at that. Something coming around rotation-wise. Look at that. We got a nice, round, planetary type object. So the eruption is happening, and then, boop, it's hitting something large and round and pushing it off. I wonder what that could be. Could you guys tell me? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. Now, to get to speaking of the sun, I want to show you guys something. Since SDO is back up and running, check this out. So we're looking at the surface of the sun in 195 angstroms of light. See this little black hole right here? This is a coronal hole. What does this coronal hole happen to look like? Can anybody tell me? Think about movies. They tell us in movies. Oh yeah, that's right, folks. The two towers. Coronal hole, large sun. Coronal hole, large sun. You know what else is really interesting about this? What is this? What is this called in Lord of the Rings in Two Towers? What is this? The all-seeing eye? Well, that's interesting. Well, let's see. We got a triangle in the all-seeing eye, right? We all know that. Let's look at this picture again real quick. Let's see. Here's the all-seeing eye. Oh, look. Volcanoes are in the shape of a triangle, and if you look at their fire form, they actually bring it right to a triangle for us. So here's our triangle. Here's our all-seeing eye. What comes with coronal mass ejections and with high solar winds? Oh, volcanic eruptions. Oh, and smoke. This one happens to also be from the two towers. Two towers. Twin towers. Two towers. Fire. Smoke. Fire. Smoke. What happens in this? It collapses and comes down. Kind of like the Twin Towers did. Does anybody else find that a little coincidental? Especially considering that it happened on 9/11. 1 and 1. Two towers. The numbers 11 are two towers. Oh, I don't know. They tell us in movies all the time, folks. So keep your eyes open, folks. No fear. And remember that love is the only way forward. Solar Wolf out.